In Intel, they introduced EMIB-T next-gen EMIB and TSVs for higher bandwidth and larger tile integration, which is Computex features EMIB-T key. They use Z2HBM5. This is incredible on-set computing, and it is 12-time reticle matrix extensible architecture support, with enhanced AI, RT capabilities, multi-GPU scalability, and improved software compatibility. Intel 18A-PT, a first-base BIC with backside power project like Battle Matrix B60 GPUs with up to 192 GB of video RAM, for medium-size I model, alongside CES 2025 software as service SaaS application. They also participate Robin FET 2 and Power HBM CVs, like in print on consolidating real-time safety and cybersecurity function for electric vehicle and zonal control architecture. Intel showcase there demonstrate Intel expansion into automotive and software-defined vehicle platforms. Now keeping eye on Azure VMs with Nvidia Blackwalk with Ultra GPUs. Microsoft introducing Azure Virtual Machine, powered by Nvidia RTX Pro 6000 Blackwall Server Edition. Look up to Microsoft.
Microsoft has become a leader in AI at scale, due in large part to our multi-year commitment with Nvidia to build the most advanced supercomputer infrastructure on Azure using the latest Nvidia GPUs. Data used to train AI models and the queries received from users of these models likely contain sensitive data, and the models themselves have high value. That's why developers of AI applications on Azure, especially those in the public sector and regulated industries, need assurances that this data is always protected. Data in Azure is already protected by encryption while in transit in the network and while at rest on disk. But we knew we couldn't stop there. That's why Microsoft, Nvidia, and other industry players have been forging an industry standard through the Confidential Computing Consortium to protect data while in use, in memory, using encryption keys managed by the underlying hardware. To support this level of protection for GPU-powered workloads, Microsoft is pleased to announce an industry first for confidential AI, the preview of Azure Confidential VMs with Nvidia H100 Tensor Core GPUs. Customers want to trust less and verify more. In partnership with Nvidia, trust is anchored in the underlying hardware, while Azure attestation tools allow customers to verify that the underlying hardware has confidential computing features enabled, and their own software stack is as expected before sensitive data is processed. This removes the cloud hypervisor and host operating system from the components that customers must trust. This is in contrast to other so-called confidential computing environments with trust anchored in the hypervisor. With these new GPU-enhanced confidential VMs, Azure customers will be able to easily train and deploy their most sensitive AI workloads with NVIDIA's latest generation of GPU.
NVIDIA is thrilled to partner with Microsoft Azure to bring the first confidential computing GPU instance to the cloud with NVIDIA H100 Tensor Core GPUs. We have worked in close concert with the Microsoft Azure team to deliver industry-leading security and confidential computing technology. The Gen AI inflection point has created an opportunity for every enterprise to activate AI. And as AI scales across every industry, protecting data, whether it be customer data or company IP, is paramount. Confidential computing brings the protection and trust to the cloud for expanding AI into all industries. Creating a robust, industry-leading confidential computing accelerator isn't easy. The NVIDIA H100 GPU was purpose-built for confidential computing. This includes a new on-die hardware root of trust and attestation flow that secures the entire GPU workload with hardware firewalls, secure boot, and remote attestation service managed with a new confidential compute GPU firmware stack. All these inventions work together to provide a trusted execution environment for data and code processed on NVIDIA GPUs. To make all this work in a cloud environment, Microsoft and NVIDIA have collaborated for over 2 years to engineer a software solution together, culminating in the Azure confidential VMs with NVIDIA H100 Tensor Core GPUs. This brings a complete end-to-end secure computing stack from the secure VMs all the way into the GPU architecture itself. Users can now build and deploy AI applications enabled with confidential computing and know that their data and AI software and models remain protected even during execution. Looking forward, the adoption of secure computing, like many technology revolutions before it, will become more commonplace. The early days of the internet used unsecure HTTP to browse the web. Today, secure HTTPS is not just the default, but required. We look forward to continued collaboration with Microsoft and enterprises around the world to bring the highest level of security for AI and GPU-powered workloads.
With organizations ramping up processing of sensitive data to train AI models and seeking insights from more data sources, the need for secure and confidential GPU-powered AI has never been greater. Microsoft's vision for confidential AI is one of pervasiveness with performance and cost parity. And the introduction of confidential VMs with H100 GPUs marks the start of this journey for GPU-powered AI. We're excited to see the impact this will have on industries like healthcare, finance, retail, and the public sector, and we're committed to making confidential GPU-powered AI as seamless and accessible as possible. Thanks to our partnership with NVIDIA, we look forward to making confidential GPU-powered computing available in all regions and the default for all GPU-powered computing on Azure.